Welcome to Paris, one of the world's most iconic cities. From its charming landmarks to famous Parisian bakeries, the city romances the soul. In this video, we'll take you on a tour of Paris's most breathtaking landmarks. Indulge in its world-famous cuisine and uncover hidden gems that only the locals know. And we'll do it in only 24 hours. Anywhere with you, with Kristen and Scott. Come experience the world with us. We had 24 hours in Paris. And what can you do in 24 hours? We're gonna share that with you. So our first stop was a French bakery. Because it was 8 o'clock in the morning and we had gotten in at 2 in the morning, I was the only one crazy enough to be up. We were staying with Alice, a friend of Kristen. She and I decided, what's more French than to go to a French bakery, right? So she took me down to one of her favorite French bakery hubs. There are actually 4 French bakeries within a block distance of where she lives. Yeah, just 4.
Just 4, guys.
And people often have their favorite. And so we went to one of her favorite. Ironically, she has favorite bakeries depending on what she's buying. Like the breakfast bakery goods that we had, that you're gonna see in the pictures, this is where we got them at her favorite for that. But when she wants like bread, she goes to a different bakery.
Oh,
I know.
So spoiled out.
I know. It was really neat. The lady didn't speak a lick of English, so it was all French being thrown around and all these locals there. And she asked what I wanted, and I said, Alice, I said, you know this better than I do, and we would like to just try things. And so we had was a smattering of delicious baked goodness for breakfast.
It was really, really some of the best pastries I've ever had. And you know, people say that kind of stuff, oh, the French bakeries are so different, and I'm always like, yeah, whatever. But I mean, it is not a Costco croissant. That's all I'm gonna say. This is real stuff, guys.
And everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
This is a flat peach.
This is a flat peach.
Does it taste like a regular peach?
Yes.
That's attractive.
We are here in Paris, France with my dear friend Alice Colombier. We're going to the Eiffel Tower and on a boat ride, and she's a wonderful hostess. Oh, thank you. Alice. So the next thing we did is we took up probably the most relaxing boat ride I've ever taken on the Seine River. Now, I want to qualify why this was so great. Frankly, it really had nothing to do with the boat ride. It had to do with the weather. The weather and the white wine that you could get downstairs on the lower level for €4. Guys, it was great to sit there and sip Pinot as you're looking at the Eiffel Tower going by. Like, this was a real thing we did. It sounds like a movie, but it's like an actual thing.
Right, and you know, it was just beautiful. I mean, the launching point of the boat was right outside the Eiffel Tower, so you have that iconic scene like above you. Literally, you're going down the Seine River. You're passing almost like every central historic site in Paris, right?
Yeah. And they're talking about it. So like, there's an English-speaking tour guide. Personal opinion, I think that our tour guide maybe had done one too many tours in the span of her career. But it was still informative information, and it was still helpful to know what you were staring at.
You felt she was phoning it in a little bit?
She was, guys, she was phoning it in.
Yeah.
The one thing that I liked about the boat tour that we took is that they had an app that you could download onto your phone So let's say English is not your language or French. They did it in both languages. You can listen to it from your own device with your own earphones, and you can just be casually going down the river. And the weather was 75 and sunny. The boat ride was calm on the water. So if you have a short period of time, it's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Be aware if you have young kids and you're not from France, you might encounter some nude sunbathers.
Oh, yes. Okay. 17-year-old son that's coming with us. And he was like, dude, Dad, did you check out that girl on the water's edge? And here, sure enough, there's a girl like totally sunbathing. Honestly, in the middle of Paris, like that's kind of shocking, I think. I mean, it's not like it's on a beach somewhere, but.
The one we did, do you remember the name of the one we were on?
It's called Vedettes de Paris. You like my accent, guys? I speak a little Haitian Creole, so I just wanted to like
throw that in there.
Move the French thing, which is terrible. But anyway, I would recommend it. Yeah, it was a good tour.
After a boat ride, it was time for lunch. I know we had just talked about breakfast, and breakfast was phenomenal. Lunch was just as much as a Parisian experience as we could want. Alice actually got a recommendation from a friend of hers who said, oh, this is authentic French cuisine, which is funny because she's French, right? And you would think that she would know it, but
well, she doesn't know everywhere in
no,
France.
And she wanted like some place that was near walking distance to the Eiffel Tower, but not real touristy.
No, we had to walk a little bit, a couple blocks to get there, but it was seriously like everything you want it to be in a bistro in France on like a side street.
The vibe was incredible, like just the atmosphere where you're around, it's historic looking. So we ate at a place called La Fontaine de Mars. It was funny, our server came up to Alice, our friend, and said, are you their interpreter? And she goes, no, we're friends. It was just a neat experience. It was out on the edge where people were eating, so it wasn't like in the center of the restaurant. So we got some really good views. It was also maybe a little bit quieter, not as distracting. It was really fantastic. The service was great. Alice, of course, was there to explain anything we didn't understand, which was the entire menu, because it did not have an English menu.
I am a huge fan of prosciutto, also known by my Italian-American friends as prosciutto. Prosciutto and prosciutto, same thing, different accent. I had French prosciutto and I had baguette with olive oil and some little pickles, and we all really kind of shared, but that's what I ordered, and it did not disappoint.
I had veal, I think with mashed potatoes or something like that, and it was delicious.
Yeah.
It really was.
The man was very happy.
I was very content. And again, you know, what makes it, you hear like the French conversations in the back, there's music playing through the loudspeakers. You can see like across the street, there's this French bakery, and a lot of the locals are just, you know, winding in and around.
It was like lunch hour on the weekend. You know, you could tell they had places to go. They weren't just like meandering. I would like to say something that did disappoint, and I am shocked to say this. I pride myself on being someone who appreciates a nice glass of wine. For whatever reason, in that 24 hours, I did not have a wine that I experienced that was like just, like I like the bottle of Bordeaux that I get from the Pennsylvania wine shop. Like, does that make me a bad person? That was my experience. Everything else was delicious. It was just the wine just didn't, I had a vision in my mind of like Pinot Noir and Bordeaux. Yeah, like bougie. No, I didn't do it for me. I just didn't have that experience.
Initially, we were going to walk up because you can walk up or take an elevator.
Like, it's a lot of stairs.
It is.
650
Yes.
or something.
Yes. I have a video I took of the entire walk down the stairs, right? So you can get a feel for it. I'll throw it up as a short so you can see how long it took to get down or what it's like to go down the stairs. If you have any challenges walking, you just want to be aware of it. I would take the elevator. Because of the time of year, the first 3 weeks of June, kids are still in school in Paris and vacationing hasn't really started. This meant that there weren't extremely long lines. Alice could actually get same-day tickets. If you go any other time of the year, this won't happen. Our first hurdle was getting through security, and it was my fault. My fault. The entire day, I have in my camera bag a drone. Wasn't flying the drone. You've seen some of my drone footage before.
He's very proud of the drone,
I am,
guys.
but it was just being carried around. I didn't think twice about it. I walk in to security and they're like,
is this drone? You were like, a what? They're like, is this drone? He was like, yeah, it's a drone. They were like, no drone for you.
So we had to make a decision what we were going to do about it. Kiefer, God bless his heart, said, you know what? I have plenty of time to see the Eiffel Tower in the future. Why don't you guys go up? I'll watch your drone.
Quality child, guys.
I know. So this episode is dedicated to him. We got through security, right? We had to find the entrance, the elevator to go up. Now, it's important to note that there are 3 ways you can go up the Eiffel Tower. They have something called a first floor, and that gives you a certain view, and that's where the museum's at. You can go to what's called the second floor, which is even higher up. This affords you complete views of all of Paris. You will not miss a thing. And if you really want to be like bougie, you go all the way to the top. We didn't feel like we needed to do that because you can see everything from the second floor we were at. It was truly like mesmerizing just to look out over Paris, and literally it's like a 360 view of Paris. What did you think of the Eiffel Tower?
I liked it. I didn't expect to like it, but I did like it, and it is a landmark.
A marvel of engineering.
It really is. Now, I have to say, and as you follow our channel, you're going to see this in us as a couple. We tend to like the weird stuff, like going out of the way of the normal, typical stuff. But I did find a lot of good value in going to Paris and to experience the city itself. I think sometimes I shortchange other countries' big landmarks because I grew up so close to New York City. I can't remember a time I hadn't gone up to the Empire State Building or gone to Ellis Island or seen the Statue of Liberty. It was just a part of my childhood and my growing up. So for me, I tend to like poo-poo the big landmarks in other cities, but I have to say Paris did not disappoint me.
One little note, when you get up in the Eiffel Tower, while you have a certain time to go up, you can stay up there as long as you want.
Yeah.
So there's no time limit, and you can just sit and bask in the Parisian landscape around you.
If I was a man, if I wanted to find the perfect place to get engaged, go up to the Eiffel Tower. You can do it at the second floor. You don't have to pay for the VIP experience, and you're going to have a woman who says yes to you.
So those were the 4 things that we did in Paris. And we were out of Paris by 4 o'clock the next morning.
There's really none of those 4 things I would not recommend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Truly. If you have a short or a sort of long layover, or maybe you're considering taking that flight the next day just to kind of see some stuff, We're going to leave everything that we just talked about in the links below. So don't hesitate to take a look at those.
And if you have any questions, post in the comments below, and we'll be happy to give you our recommendations.
Thank you so much for being a part of our episode at Anywhere with You. You too can experience the world around you and really be challenged in thinking about the world in new ways. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.